Doon sa mga hindi familiar, no, ano po ba yung purpose ng SALN? Ano ba yung spirit behind the SALN law? Bakit tayo merong ganyan?
The spirit of the SAL-N law is trying to make sure that you don't enrich yourself from your holding your office, di ba? So, dapat noon, pagpasok mo ng opisina, ng public office, meron kang baseline. Ngayon, every year, yung increase or decrease, na-justify yan ng ano ba yung income mo, o kaya kung yung asawa mo may income rin, ano yung income yung dalawa, di ba? Kaya kayo nag-increase. Ngayon, kung makikita yan sa income tax return, di ba? Ngayon,
Mm.
kung sasabihin mo may minana kayo, di may estate tax return kayo. May nag-donate sa inyo, may makikita ka rin. Ngayon, kung may nag-donate sa inyo, ah, siyempre may tanong yan, no? Yung nag-donate ba sa'yo, kamag-anak nyo? Kasi kung hindi, bakit kayo dinonatean ng kung ano man yun? Diba? So it's a way na to make sure yung government official he did not unduly enrich himself while in office.
Mm.
Yun yung spirit ng SALN.
Paano pala, Attorney Kim, yung ano, yung, ito alam ko, gray area to sa ating election laws, no? Yung mga tumakbo sa eleksyon, whether nanalo o natalo, hindi sila duty bound na ibalik yung mga donated campaign funds, hindi po ba? As long as they would declare the tax. Tama po ba yan? They would pay
Yeah,
the proper taxes.
yes. So, yeah. So, then you see na, 'di ba? So, may income tax return yan na ni-report niya. So, doon mo makikita yung increase ng net worth niya.
Pero pwede rin bang hindi i-declare yon ng mga kumandidato? Kunwari, nakatanggap, di ba yung ibang kalakaran po dyan, cash binibigay, hindi po ba? Para walang paper trail.
Ngayon ang tanong ko kasi, bakit ka ba kumukuha ng pera? Hindi pa ba to enjoy life? Hindi ka naman kumukuha ng pera para lang itago. Siyempre kinukuha mo yan kasi mayroon kang gustong bilhin,
Mm.
mayroon kang gustong gawin, gusto mo mag-abroad. So lahat yon sooner or later lalabas din yan, 'di ba? Kunyari, kung maliit lang yung kinita mo, maaring hindi makikita. Pero as you become more unsatisfied, because you get more and more, hindi mo na yan maitatago, no? Kasi your lifestyle will show it. Diba?
At yun, dapat po ba ma-reflect yun sa salin? Parang yun ang
Diba?
tumbok
Kasi
niya dyan, di ba?
yung lifestyle mo, kunya
Oo.
bumili ka ng 10 kotse, puro Ferrari, di siyempre lalabas dapat yan sa salin mo. O kaya
Mm.
bigla kang bumili ng golf share, 'di ba, dapat lalabas rin yan. O kaya bigla kang bumili ng bahay sa village, di dapat lalabas rin yan, 'no? So, ibig sabihin, kung small fry ka lang, maaring madali mong itago. Pero kung lumalaki yung kinikita mo, mahirap yan itago, 'di ba?
Oo nga, no? Good point, no? Sa mga tumakbo sa election, no? Kunwari, meron silang excess windfall na kunwari 30 million pesos na hindi na nagastos. Miski hindi nila i-declare sa COMELEC, hindi po ba? Lalabas at lalabas yan kung ginastos nila o kaya in-invest, di ba? Tama po ba? May paraan para makita siya.
Yes, kasi hindi ka naman kumukuha ng pera dahil lang sa, 'di ba, tataguin mo, 'di ba?
Mm.
Because you want to enjoy it, right? Otherwise, why would you get the money?
Mm. Yung pala, Attorney Kim, no? Yung, kasi alam ko naging argument to ng previous impeachment trial ni then Chief Justice Renato Corona. Naalala ko isa sa mga argumentong lumabas doon. Yung bang SALN itself, should that be seen as a tacit approval on the part of the government official concerned that his bank records should also be opened? Kumbaga pwede siyang work around dun sa napaka-strictong bank secrecy law. The fact na dineclare naman niya yun sa kanyang SALN. Ano po ba ang tingin niyo ron?
Actually, yung sa SALN na form, meron diyan isang provision na ina-allow yung ombudsman to open the bank account of the
Mm.
bank official. It's already in the form itself. It gives an authority to the ombudsman to open the bank account.
So yun nga, ano na yan, it's very clear. So pwede yung busisiin anytime.
Yeah, kasi nandun sa SALN form, binigay yung authority sa ombudsman.
So kunwari, ako yung public official, nag-file ako ng salin, dineclare ko yung bank deposits ko pati bank accounts, or pwede nyo nang buksan yun ng ombudsman.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. So you can initiate, let's say, motu proprio investigation into possible shenanigans.
Yeah, I think the ombudsman can initiate motu proprio investigation. It need not have any complaint.
Mm. Yung nga pala po, no, isa rin sa mga issues, of course, yung weaponization of the job of the ombudsman. Kasi whether you like it or not, the office is very powerful, and when properly wielded or exercise yung kapangyarihan na yan, maraming mga taong gobyerno yung pwedeng matakot. No? How do you view that? Yung possible weaponization of the ombudsman's powers?
Actually, one of the reason why I also applied is because, based on my experience with BIR and the employees there, sometimes the BIR employees are being harassed. No, meron mga instances na may complaint, tapos ma-archive yan dahil supposedly, kwento nila sa akin, nagbayad na sila, di nakatago na yan, biglang lulutang na naman yan. Tas, di ba?
Uh,
Uh, So para sa akin, it's the ombudsman should protect honest government official, and should the balance is protecting the honest government official and also making sure that you investigate the yung tamang official na dapat mo investigating, no? And protect the public kasi they have a complaint, diba? So you should be able to make the government work efficiently. I think that's the whole purpose of the ombudsman. No, it's to help government work efficiently.
Pero kayo po, assuming, let's say you're given the opportunity to sit as ombudsman, how do you plan to minimize corrupt practices within the agency itself para linisin yung sarili yung hanay?
Well, I think the important thing is all complaints should be resolved. It should not. We should have no. There should be no cases that are archived. When there's a complaint, there should be a proper investigation, and the public official should also be informed. And at the same, there should be a resolution. Either you tell the person the case is dismissed, and you formalize it, or you are going to impose a penalty because the ombudsman can they have administrative penalties that it can impose. They can prosecute criminally through sa Sandigan Bayan or other court. No? So, para sa akin, dapat may resolution. At
Mm.
alam nung tao na ito yung resolution. Nakasulat yan, official document.
Mm.
Tapos
Ito
yung
pala,
nag-complain, kailangan malaman rin nila na ano ba yung resolution ng kaso.
opo. Ito pala, Attorney Kim, no? Kasi meron tayong, alam niyo naman po ito, no? Tsaka ng maraming kababayan natin. Meron tayong striktong patakaran, yung tinatawag na Code of Conduct and Ethical Standards for Public Officials and Employees. Kung sakaling kayo po yung ombudsman, how do you intend to make sure that this is properly enforced and respected by our government officials?
Like what I did with the BIR, no, we have a law, we should strictly implement it. No, if you violate it, then all action should have a consequence. Diba? So, kailangan mo implementin yan strictly. And tingin ko, yun yung maliwanag. Ibig sabihin, everyone knows where everyone is. Ito yung batas, so sundin natin.
Oo, kasi pag sa mga viewers natin, again, I invite you to read this. Kasi sa akin lang naman po, Attorney Kim, pag strictly inimplemento, baka maubos yung ating mga opisyal sa gobyerno. Lalo yung
Ay,
tungkol sa pagtanggap ng regalo, hindi po ba?
alam nyo, personally, from my experience in government, I always say, like in BRR, during my time, I don't know now. So, 90% of the people in BRR are competent and honest.
Mm.
There's 10% of the people there that's maybe questionable. Of the 10, 9% will follow what the leader dictates. So if the leader is clean, they will also be they will do it properly. There's a 1% that's incorrigible, no? Whatever you do, they will not, talagang may problema sila, no? So hindi naman totoo 'yun na mauubos yung mga tao, 'no? Kasi marami naman diyan na sa gobyerno, eh, honest naman.
Opo.
Ah, 'Yun.
Mas iniisip ko po rito, Attorney Kim, yung mga top government officials, no? Kunwari, yung dapat sana ay hindi luxurious yung kanilang lifestyle, pero pag tiningnan natin, parang it's more of an exception than the rule. Pag yung isang mataas na opisyal ng gobyerno, makita nyo walang SUV, walang mansion, walang, alam nyo na, di ba? Parang naging commonplace po siya sa mga top officials natin. At mukhang hindi siya tumatalima doon sa espiritu ng patakaran na ito. Ano po bang tingin ninyo doon?
Um, Kasi ang mga pumapasok ngayon sa gobyerno, eh, marami sa kanila, eh, mayaman na sila bago sila pumasok. So
Mm.
so you have also to investigate it properly, 'di ba? Hindi katulad dati, 'di ba, na yung mga mayayaman ayaw naman pumunta sa gobyerno, 'di ba? Pero
Mm.
ngayon, ah, 'di ba, kaya nga mag-segue ako. Kaya nga, eh, 'di ba, nung tinanggal yung pogo, okay sa akin. Kasi sabi ko, dun sa may reporter na nag-ano sa akin, alam mo, the politician should be the one wary of the pogo. Kasi if they're not careful, the pogo will earn so much money that they will be replaced as politicians. They will go into politics themselves, and all these politicians will be replaced. No?
Mm.
So, yun yung scenario ngayon. Maraming nasa politics na kaya sila nananalo kasi mayaman sila eh. Di ba? Ngayon,
Mm.
hindi ko alam galing saan yung yaman nila. Ang presumption is supposedly, 'di ba? Yun yun mahirap ngayon, no? Because you have politicians now that started rich. So so when you use the SAL-N law, that's now where you will have to have proper investigation.
Yan. Ito, inanap ko yung mismong provision, no? Yung patakaran patungkol po sa simple living. Sabi dito, public officials and employees and their families shall lead modest lives appropriate to their positions and income. They shall not indulge in extravagant or ostentatious display of wealth in any form. Mga napakahigpit po nitong patakaran na ito, no? So, paano po dapat binabasa ito?
Alam mo, pag binasa mo yan, talagang sabi mo nga mauubos yun. Yung ano, siguro the other thing is, ah, para sa akin, parati kong sinasabi, kung yang batas na yan, eh, hindi na ugma sa panahon ngayon, dapat ang sila yung mag-revise, no? Pero as it is written, then the ombudsman cannot do anything but implement it.
Mm. Tapos meron pa nga rito, of course, yung no, yung expectation sa mga government officials natin na dapat ito to, yung professionalism. Yan, 'di ba? They shall perform and discharge their duties with the highest degree of excellence, professionalism, intelligence, and skill. I don't know, no? Paano po ba in-operationalize yan? Kasi, honestly, hindi na natin kailangan mag-name names, no? Pero it doesn't always happen na you have government officials who exhibit such characteristics. Pero nga, how do you think this should be operationalized?
Actually, I'm reading the ombudsman law. It said one of the grounds can be incompetence.
Mm.
And I don't think it has ever been implemented, no? Which makes me wonder if you can actually uh, discipline a government official for omissions and for incompetence. No? But it does not seem to have been implemented. So uh, I want to find out why.
Pero pero pwede 'no? Nasa kapangyarihan po ano, tama?
Yeah, it's in the ombudsman law na you can discipline from someone for incompetence and for not doing what they should be doing.
Mm.
So,
Oo. Tas ito pa, yung responsiveness to the public. Actually, ganda ng ano natin, ng batas, no? Kung talagang tatalima lang po lahat, no? Public officials and employees shall extend prompt, courteous, and adequate service to the public. 'Di ba? So technically, bawal talaga yung masusungit, tsaka yung mga matatagal sumagot, yung mga nandededma, yung mga suplada sa mga na mga kawinin ng gobyerno, hindi po ba?
yeah. So, yun yun. But, syempre, the other thing is kung minsan, konti lang yung empleyado. So, yun yun mga ano. Pero, syempre, you go into government, you go into it because you want to serve the public. So, no matter how difficult it is, di ba, you should be very accommodating, helpful,
Mm.
efficient. We cannot really make lack of manpower as an excuse. And salary should not be an excuse because the government salary has already been increased, di ba?
Mm.
It's already almost the same or even higher than entry level for private sector.